2024, guys, and I think it would be appropriate to have a video where I give my projections for gold, silver, oil, palladium, uranium, platinum, all that good stuff, copper. Again, it's pretty difficult to make a prediction 1 year out. However, I will do my best based on what the charts are looking at right now. I will do my very best. I will probably be wrong, but again, I'll just base it on how I usually look at things. Right or wrong, it is how it is. Again, you can take it as you may. I just did a uranium recap of the Australian miners down under. Again, we just had an earthquake in Japan, so I'm very excited to see how the Australian market acts when it opens in, I think, 2 hours' time. Will it be a big scare, sell-off, whatever? I don't know. But from what I can read, nothing has happened. But again, you never know with the markets. They are what they are. So with that said, also, I will have Patrick Karim joining me tomorrow discussing his take, silver, gold, and uranium, of course, for 2024. He has some very good macro long-term views, very good visuals, and I'm excited to have him on very, very much. I've been making 3 videos with him over the past 2 to 3 years. So again, I enjoy him. Actually, his account was, I think, number 5 that I followed ever on Twitter. So if you don't follow this guy, please do. You will not regret it. Okay, without all that said, charting, it is why we're here. And again, thank you for all for being here. Let's do it. Silver, a troublemaker, a difficult one, but when silver moves, it moves. But again, it only moves for like 5% of the time. The other 95, it's just killing your entire mood every single day. However, let's look at it here. Silver, for the next 12 months time, at least how I see it. Okay, let's dive in here. I want to show actually some short-term stuff. First, alrighty. What you can see here is the March 2020 lows coming all the way up, huge move, and then 3 years worth of very boring, frustrating sideways action. But there are definitely some good things when you look at the chart, at least, but we haven't broken out yet. I want to show you a multiple of things that will happen when we get above 26. Yes, no matter how anyone say, 26 is my level to go through. Why? I want to show you. You can see here we have it, the first one of the inverted head and shoulders that is currently been drawn here. Again, we haven't confirmed because we are not having a weekly close above 26. Also, you can also argue that you have an inverted head and shoulders coming all the way down to here. And that would mean that actually a break a tad above 25 is also where things happen. However, the reasoning why I'm saying that 26 is the level to look for. This is a double golden band right here, going back from 2011. You can see the touches perfectly here. If I've removed the lower one, you can see the peak, the utmost outlying there confirms it that a break above 26 right here is actually the key to look for. So 26, guys, is what I'm looking for. And I think we'll break that in 2024. I really, really do think that that is what we're going to do. So what will happen in 2024? This is when 2025 is starting. So I think actually we can get into the 30s and even into the 40s. Why? I want to show you. Again, looking back here, you can see here we broke a long-term sideways consolidation and we just went one-way street. Same thing here, one-way street, right? Same thing here, one-way street. So I do think actually that when we break that 26, again, it could spend, the first half of 2024 doing sideways action. But I do think when we get it, it will be a one-way street like this. And again, this should take us into the mid-40s. The first measured head and shoulders, this one right here gives us 40. You also have a pole from down here to there. And then you can actually add it to here. That actually gives us above the 50. I don't think we'll get there, but I do think we will hit the target with some overperformance. So I'm calling for like mid-40s, maybe a tad above 40. That is where we're going for silver. Again, this is how the chart is looking right now. Obviously, if we have like a Q1 breakdown here, different scenario, but for now it holds. The chart is very, very bullish. Again, I think similar to here and here, I think that's the next move to the upside. Also, because now we go to gold, gold is showing signs that we are about to break, or we have broken the all-time highs, and we're going higher. Gold, to me, as anyone is looking at, we have that beautiful inverted head and shoulders, a triple top with a fourth touch, and now a fifth, 4.5, depending on how you say it, because it comes so rapidly after the December the December spike up, and then we drop down. So if this breaks, which I think it will, we will target, that's the inverted head and shoulders target right up there. And I do believe it is actually possible to get there, because this move from here to here took half a year. So it shouldn't be out of the ordinary to have actually a 25% move in gold after such a long sideways triple top, quadruple top, whatever you want to call it. And now we're breaking out. So that is my take. I think we can go. My low call is 2,400, but I wouldn't be surprised to actually have, 2,600 in the making for gold in 1 year, because, for 3 years we haven't done anything. So now we have some catching up to do. Usually gold does 10% on average for 3 years, over every year, 10% give or take. And now we haven't done anything for like 3 years. And if you add in, from 2011, we have basically done nothing, right? So we have a lot of catching up to do. So yes, I'm calling for it 2,600 within 1 year, that we will touch roughly 2,600. Oil, a different beast. I don't think oil will do much. What I think oil will do is actually, I want to put it right there. This is the peak from 2008. And looking at it short term here, we have this green support and we have this channel coming down here. So I think we could actually go as low as 66 and still be within this bullish formation right here. And then I think we will break out at some point at least. And then we will actually spend most of the time within 2024. And I think we can actually, if we break this stuff here, we can actually visit the highs from there. And that would be my absolute maximum target for oil. So roughly $93. That is my take for oil, 93, without any further comments or anything. We have been in this huge breakout and then bullish, retesting that huge long support. And I do think we will break out of here at some point in time, but we have a lot of resistances and trend lines to get through before we actually get here. So I think it will be later on in the year, in the second half of 2024, that we reach $93 for oil. Oil is going to be very exciting actually with regarding to people calling recession, because then again, you can easily have a huge spike low if we have that confirmed recession. But let's see. Uranium has been on a tear in 2023. Where do we start 2023? Roughly here. It's just been up ever since, up, roughly, what is it, 80% or so, 90% for the uranium spot price. I've said for a long time that we're going for at least 100. And then we will have some big resistance. Why we have this gap down here in 2007. From roughly 130 to 100. In 1 week, it dropped without any, one big gap here. We're going to 100. But again, depends on what happens here. Again, usually you see these gaps getting hit and then you actually start to pull back. But again, if the market is so thin as people say, you have no clearance to what happened here the last time, because you have a gap. And this could also be a vacuum that we can actually go all the way up to the upper. But no way, no matter how we actually do it, I actually think the most likely scenario, and that would be some sort of sideways action here, just to get the RSI to catch, excuse me, the moving average to catch up, RSI to just calm down a bit. Then I actually think we can actually go for that 130. For the uranium spot price in 2024, the 130 could actually be where we are. So we're now at 90, and 130 on top, that's roughly 50% on top of that. That is my call. I think we will actually close this entire gap, and then we will see what happens. Again, let's see what happens with the markets tonight and tomorrow for both Australia and the US with regard to the earthquake in Japan. Last time there was an earthquake, that was not so good. But for now, there's no damages done to the reactors. So let's see what happens. But again, it is such a sensitive topic, you know, earthquakes in Japan. Yeah, let's see. Palladium is actually looking quite bullish here. Again, we haven't confirmed the bullishness net yet, but we had this falling wedge here going back 2 years, 3 years. False breakdown. Now we are above, and we are now retesting from a top, which is beautiful. So my take is, at some point in time during 2024, we will have a huge retest of, I want to show you with a bit of a broader view here, of that long-term golden trend line. We haven't actually probably tested it yet on the longer time frames. Yes, we had a bit of a tick there, but still, in my view, that's not a retest. I think we will get there, so I'm calling for roughly 15 to 1600 Palladium, because I think when we get there, I would be surprised to just blast through. I think we'll have a detour, but I don't think we will manage to get back above before the year is over. But anyways, 1500, 1600, and we are roughly at 1100 now. So that is also like a 40% move, give or take, for Palladium. And that's pretty good, looking at how, you know, we went from roughly 3.5K, and now we went down to 900. So definitely there's a lot of downward momentum that needs to get taken out slowly, but I think we will get there, you know, roughly here for Palladium. 15 to 1600s. Platinum, good old Platy. Again, the long-term trend line is here. You can see it there. We have broken it, and we have came back in 100 times. But definitely, I think we have something in the making. Here, I said that we had a wedge here that we broke. That was step 1. Now we have come back above the long-term golden trend line. Step 2. Red resistance band right there. That is our step 3. You can see we're getting rejected here last week with the wick. And then we have our final and fourth, which is the neckline of this actually pretty beautiful inverted head and shoulders. So if we get there, we actually trigger a move which is a bit higher here, but I don't think we will get there. I do think that we actually have some time to get back to the highs right there. So roughly 1,300 is my take on platinum. Again, all of this can get destroyed if we have this huge bear market that people are talking about. They also talked about it in 2023. I don't know, but for now the charts are pointing higher. Copper is also, I think, if copper gets above 4, it looks hugely inflationary, and then a market crash, maybe not. I don't think so if that happens. So I think copper will get above 4, and depending on the symmetry here and so on, I do think that we're actually going to hit $5 for copper. Maybe a tad higher if you want to add that trend line here. So at least 5 to 5.2 is my pretty, I will say, not so complex technical analysis on copper. I do think that, you know, above 4, hugely bullish. Below 3.5, which is these lows here, hugely bearish. And within here, that's the big decision time. But I do think it looks like we want to break to the upside here. Again, we have to wait and see the confirmation. A weekly candle above 4. That weekly candle last week doesn't look good at all, by the way. But let's see again, above 4, we will easily go to 5 in my view in 2024. Nat gas, very tricky. It's just one of the most difficult chart to actually chart. Funny enough, but I do think actually that for starters, there's a lot of bullish and bearish views here. We're still in this bear flag here that is pointing to a lot lower. Also, I want to show you a trend line coming back from 2002. You tag it here, here, and here. And actually, I think that is very possible that it will actually hit, 1.3 during the European summertime in like 6 months' time. The reasoning being this bull flag alone. However, the bear flag, excuse me, also, but you have this break, for higher high and actually a possible higher low of that golden trend line. So you have that working against the bearish case. So if we can get back above, again, I'll give two scenarios here because nat gas is very difficult. So if we can get above that blue line here and negate the bear flag at some point in time, we could actually see 4.7, which is up here at some point in time, for the nat gas, the NG1. Again, very difficult, but I'll give you two answers: the bearish call and the bullish call. It is very tricky with the NASCAS chart. I will say that at least. That's also why I'm not invested into nat gas anymore. I was here, when we started to break to the upside here, I was in, and then ever since, I haven't been able to find any entries, anything bullish upside, or so I'm just staying out. These are my calls. Will we get there? We have 365 days to go, 200 and some trading days. So we will have to wait and see. Again, very difficult to predict 1 year out in time, but I've done my best. And there is obviously, as I mentioned, if we get that huge recession that people are talking about, none of these will actually be met, I think, because everything will get taken down with the equities. Gold and silver initially, also oil will take a pretty big dent, also palladium, platinum, copper as well. So that is the kicker to it. But definitely now the charts are looking for a lot higher prices for these beautiful commodities that we're looking at every day, every week, more or less. So with that being said, that's all I had. Please give me your comments below. What you think we're going on some of these commodities that we're looking at. You can choose one or all of them. That's totally up to you. I'm intrigued to see what you think where we're going. But I do think like a 25% move in gold in 1 year, that is a huge move. And imagine what the gold miners would do during that period. That's nice. Also, the gold miners looks quite nice, so that's also icing on the cake for the bullish scenario. Anyways, give me your comments. What do you think? These are my takes. I'm happy to see yours. Have a great one, guys, and don't miss the interview with Patrick tomorrow. Cheers, guys. Bye.